Hello everybody, my name is 711 and welcome to some UU Showdown. In the last video that I made, guys, I was talking a lot about the tier changes for Smogon recently, and so I decided to throw together a team, a UU team, and I get to use some Pokemon that have recently been changed into the UU tier. Like Conkeldurr is now UU. If you haven't seen already, so I have Assault Vest with Guts, with the usual moveset: Drain Punch, Knockoff, Mach Punch, and Poison Jab. Next we have Sylveon, who also moved down to UU, and I usually like leftovers called Mindset, but this time I'm just going to go with the choice specs: Hyper Voice, Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Hidden Powder Ground, full Modest, and a little bit of special defense. Next we have Blissey, and I have a friend, Fat Leonardo, who's also on YouTube. You can check him out in the description. He told me about this really great Chansey Mega Blastoise core. I'm going to use a Blissey Blastoise core with Wish. Wish Blissey is going to be really good because Wish is going to restore 362 HP to whoever receives that wish. They're going to get 362 health back, and that's more than Blastoise has, even at max investment. So there's the Blissey set, Wish, Heal Bell, Thunder Wave, and Seismic Toss, Mega Blastoise, Aura Sphere, Dragon Pulse, Dark Pulse, and Skull with Modest. And then I just needed 2 more underused Pokemon, and so I just grabbed the support Arcanine and a Zelf, a Choice Scarf Azelf that was a star in one of my other battles. So that's my team, and I hope to use Conkeldurr and Sylveon a whole lot in this battle, or in these battles, because they're brand new to the UU tier. I'd like to use Blissey and Mega Blastoise a bit because they're pretty good together, and Arcanine and Azelf, they've always been pretty good. So hopefully this team of 6 can turn out a few wins. I do have 3 battles for you, so let's get into them. Do that before. Okay, so here we're up against a pretty standard team. We have a lot of interesting stuff. He leads with an Alakazam, so I decided to just U-turn. As you guys see on my team, I don't have any Stealth Rock or Spikes or anything like that. Oh well. So the Focus Sash is gone on Alakazam, and I wanted to go into Arcanine just to extreme speed goodbye to the Alakazam before. So those were the plays up till now. He goes for Dark Pulse as I go for Will-O-Wisp just to burn this Hydreigon. And so Draco Meteor does a lot but doesn't kill. I predicted him to go for something pretty strong, so I went for Morning Sun, and that got rid of all that damage. And so now there's Machamp. He switched as I switched. That was a very good prediction on his part, so I go into Blastoise, and that close combat does a lot of damage. So I go into Mega Blastoise here, go for that Scald, maybe get a burn, and I do get it. And that's just a really, really strong Machamp. He might be choice band Machamp. So I go into a Zelf here, and I thought a U-turn would take it out. It did not. So I decided to go into Sylveon here. Close combat is a critical hit and takes out the Sylveon. So that was pretty crazy, and Machamp goes down to burn. Next he sends in his own Azelf, as I send in Conkeldurr. The Psychic does a lot of damage, not enough to take me out, and Knockoff destroys this Expert Belt Azelf. That went really good there. So Conkeldurr goes for Mach Punch, does a good chunk of damage to Darmanitan, and he goes down. So I decide to send in the Arcanine there because of the Intimidate, Extreme Speed. That would be able to take care of that one. I was predicting an Earthquake, and he ends up deciding to set up Stealth Rock. Bullet Punch does a lot, but Shadow Ball is doing more. So, 2 Bullet Punches almost take out the Azelf, even with that crit. The Shadow Ball crit didn't matter. And I'm still faster than Alakazam, and I'm locked into Shadow Ball with Choice Scarf. And so, Azelf is just able to take out a bunch of Pokemon here. I know that Scarf Darmanitan is really common, and so I decided to go with the Choice Scarf Azelf, which is a faster already. So I figured that would work out. So I go for Heal Bell there to get rid of the paralysis on Arcanine, and the match was forfeited. Blissey is a really big special defensive wall, and I knew that I could stall for a little bit against this Hydreigon as the burn damage is racking up, and so I knew that would be a losing battle for the Hydreigon. And even if he was somehow able to take out the Blissey, then I would have the Arcanine in the back, and Extreme Speed would take out the Hydreigon with what little health he would have left. So, I guess either Azelf with its speed would be the MVP, or maybe Conkeldurr would be the MVP. Conkeldurr was able to knock out the Azelf in one hit, and bring down that Darmanitan pretty low. Azelf was able to knock out the Alakazam and the Darmanitan. No, not the Darmanitan, the Metagross, and then also hit Hydreigon pretty hard. So that was that battle. Let's go into battle number 2. So this time we're up against a rain team, and I'm pretty scared about. I'm very terrified of this rain team because rain teams have strategy, and I'm not saying I don't have strategy, but you know they can have some pretty good strategy of their own. So I know that these things carry Sucker Punch. But I did not expect Gunk Shot, and I did not expect Gunk Shot to land. So Sylveon gets one-shotted again. So here's the Will-O-Wisp, and so this Mega Swampert, as I predicted, is not going to do as much as I thought. So I go for Wish, and the Azelf comes back in and gets all its health back. So that's really great. He's going to start hazard stacking, and I go into Blastoise. He doesn't carry Rapid Spin, but I figured that a Scald in the Rain is going to do a lot of damage to anybody. Literally anybody. So the rain stops, and here comes Celebi, which is a pretty good idea to put on a rain team. It helps protect against sun. Or against fire, I mean. So Will-O-Wisp, he's already burned, and even though he's burned, he already has some pretty good attack. So I decide to send in Mega Blastoise again, and this time he goes for Earthquake, and that does a lot of damage. So I decide to go into Azelf to take an Earthquake, but he actually goes for Waterfall there, which I wasn't very happy about. Now, Azelf was still able to outspeed which was really impressive actually. So Azelf really can't do too much to this fortress, and he's able to set up all of his spikes and his stealth rock, and that's going to do a load of damage to everyone that comes in, and he explodes. And so Blissey goes down, and so I decide I'll just go for an intimidate. I'll intimidate something, and Gunk Shot misses this time finally, and so I'm able to Morning Sun some health back, and I get to burn. This is going to be a really close battle because with all these hazards he has in the field, Blastoise is really weak. Yeah, he's at 25%, so he's going to go down whenever he comes back in. So it's really up to Conkeldurr at this point to take on everybody else. So there's a Drain Punch to take care of a lot there. Now there's a knockoff, and that was able to take out what do you call that? Croagunk. So this Celebi does not have a Psychic type move. It has Recover, Swords Dance, Baton Pass, and Seed Bomb, and I'm able to really use that to my advantage there. And there's a Mach Punch, there's a Scald, and he goes down to Life Orb, and that was the battle, guys. That was really close because, yeah, Mega Blastoise only has 25%. He would die to all these entry hazards if Conkeldurr was unable to, you know, wrap up this battle. Conkeldurr took out a Celebi and a Croagunk and a Kingdra, you know, in the end. So Conkeldurr was definitely the MVP, along with Arcanine burning things. That was a really big help. So that was a very good battle. It definitely showed off Conkeldurr's abilities. And so finally now we have one last battle. And this is a bulky... It's a relatively bulky team with Mega Aggron and the Florges, and I'm really fearing the Snorlax. If this is like a Belly Drum Rest or Curse Rest or Amnesia Rest, this is a really scary... It could be a very scary situation. So I'm going to play... He leads with a Celebi, and there's a Conkeldurr, and this Celebi does have Psychic, and I get to go for a really powerful knockoff, get rid of that Expert Belt. Now I go into Blissey, because Blissey can take all these special hits. He takes very little damage, but I get the special defense drop, so that's not good. He switches now into Florges. I'm not quite sure why, but I decide to send up the Thunder Wave to paralyze anything that can come in. And so I decide to send out a Wish as I go up to full health, and in comes Conkeldurr as Florges goes for her own Wish, and Conkeldurr gets all of his health back. Conkeldurr got all of his health back from that Wish. So Conkeldurr's still alive, still hanging in there. That Poison Jab is doing a lot too much, so he decides to send in Durant, and I don't know what Durant is gonna go for, but whatever it is, Arcanine can probably take it. So there's a superpower. It doesn't do anything. He switches back the Florges, expecting the Will-O-Wisp, and that was really good on his part. And so I decided to go for a Flare Blitz, and the critical hit probably mattered there. So Florges is gone, thank goodness. Next is Aggron, and I go for a Will-O-Wisp as he goes for Earthquake. Earthquake only does 31%. And so I'm in a pretty good situation here where I can Morning Sun up. Yeah, that's what I do. I go for a Morning Sun, and I decided to Flare Blitz this Snorlax, and that's very little damage. Very little damage. Now, Return does do a bit of damage. Return does a lot of damage. Rocky Helmet does some damage too. And Snorlax is still out there. So I decided to go for a knockoff, predicting a switch. And the knockoff didn't take out the Snorlax, so I was pretty surprised there. So I decided to go in the Blastoise because Snorlax is at really low health and anything can outspeed it. And I went for the Aura Sphere. So next is a Porygon Z. Now, Adaptability Tri-Attack is a crazy amount of damage. The Aura Sphere does more damage. So that was really lucky on my part. That Adaptability Tri-Attack, that's just crazy damage right there. Even though it's not even super effective or anything. So I'm not sure what this Signal Beam is all about. Usually wow, I can't talk. Celebees usually don't have Signal Beam. So there's a Seismic Toss. Blissey got rid of the whatchamacallit. So I go for Wish again. Blissey got rid of Blastoise's Paralysis from the Tri-Attack. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's this late game Stealth Rock. In comes Blastoise, and watch this, guys. Heavy Slam does not take out the Blastoise, and Wish gives me all my health back. So now that I have all my health back from Wish, there's Aura Sphere, and this Burned Aggron is just not gonna cut it. Just not gonna cut it. So in comes Durant. Iron Head misses, probably from Hustle. And it doesn't even matter because Iron Head doesn't do all that much, and Scald takes out the Durant. So that was a really great battle. It showed off Blissey's Wish potential to really get Pokemon back in the game if they have like half health or so. So Conkeldurr was able to get all of his health back and do a number on the Forges. And then Blastoise also received a Wish and was able to clean up the game. So that was a really great suggestion, Fat Leonardo. That was a lot of fun to use also, and I'll be using it some more later on. Yeah, this battle was the other person had a good bit of bulk, but I was able to just muscle through it with Conkeldurr and Mega Blastoise mostly. Arcanine was there to burn a few things, and so that was helpful. But yeah, Mega Blastoise is just a beast, and Blissey was able to really lend the Wish support, and she was able to Heal Bell Blastoise back up. So those are the 3 battles I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this battle, if you enjoyed any of these battles or this team, then give this video a like and subscribe for more to come. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.